Hare Krishna. So Maharaj Agnidhara is infatuated by material lust. And we are seeing the symptoms of that infatuation is that one is thoroughly illusioned and everything appears to him, to such a person, very nectarine. This is exactly what Srila Prabhupada explains, uh, that you see the happiness in Rajaguna uh, is nectar in the beginning, but it is poison afterwards. So where is the nectar in the beginning? So, or what do we mean by nectar in the beginning? So even that experience of nectar in the beginning is there. Even that experience of nectar in the beginning is coming just because uh, nectar in the beginning experience is there. That is also so in the beginning one is completely overwhelmed and obsessed by the illusion, and it is actually an illusion that everything is appearing very nectarine. So it is actually an illusion that everything is appearing very nectarine, but with due course of time that illusion bubble bursts, and therefore everything is in its real state, and that is its poisonous state. So therefore, so this is Rajoguna. So mostly the experience of the nectar in the beginning is also because in the beginning there is a lot of illusion, but illusion doesn't stay with time, and therefore the real nature of the thing, of any Rajoguni and object comes out.
Bhakti Vaishnav Maharaj one day was in the broadcast first, he was saying it doesn't matter like how beautiful one's body looks like, it's actually made up of nothing but stool, pus, urine and blood.
Yes, that is very true. So Devahuti is saying that, Bhakti Shri Vaishnav Maharaj was saying that it doesn't matter how attractive the body looks like, inside it's made up of stool, pus, urine, and all that. So that is very true. Uh, that is very true.
I like that message came because sometimes we keep seeing our body too much.
Let's read
It's a
further.
morning message that came.
कहवात्मवृत्तिरदनद्धवेद अङ्गवाति विष्णु कलासि अनिमिः सोनमकरौ च कर्णो उद्विग्नमेन युगलम् द्विजपङ्क्तिशोचिर् असन्नभृङ्गनिकरं सार इन्मुखं ते. My dear friend, what do you eat to maintain your body? Because you are chewing betel, a pleasant scent is emanating from your mouth. This proves that you always eat the remnants of food offered to Vishnu. Indeed, you must also be an expansion of Lord Vishnu's body. Your face is as beautiful as a pleasing lake. Your jeweled earrings resemble two brilliant sharks
Vishnu
with
Sthiti.
unblinking eyes like those of Vishnu, and your own eyes resemble two restless fish. Simultaneously, therefore, two sharks and two restless fish are swimming in the lake of your face. Besides them, the white rows of your teeth seem like rows of very beautiful swans in the water, and your scattered hair resembles the swarms of bumblebees following the beauty of your face. But the devotees of Lord Vishnu are also his expansions. They are called Vibhinamsha. Lord Vishnu is offered all kinds of sacrificial ingredients, and because devotees always eat prasad, the remnants of his food, the scent of sacrificial ingredients emanates not only from Vishnu but also from the devotees who eat the remnants of his food or the food of his devotees. Agnitra considered Purvachitti an expansion of Lord Vishnu because of the pleasant scent of her body. Aside from that, because of her jeweled earrings, shaped like sharks, because of her scattered hair resembling bumblebees, mad after the scent of her body, and because of the white rows of her teeth which resembled swans. Agnidhara compared Purvachitti's face to a beautiful lake decorated with lotus flowers, fish, swarms, and bumblebees. So, had we not known who is speaking this verse and for whom it is there, and one just encounters upon this verse, one may feel that this is an Uttama Shloka glorification of the Supreme Lord taking place actually. So, with such choicest, choicest words and analogy and in such a picture in such a panoramic manner, uh, Agnidharma is glorifying not Lord Vishnu, unfortunately. So this is the point that you see in the material affairs also one needs to have that same kind of vision, that same kind of heart one has to put, but all for a dead object, all for a dead object. So fervor is obligatory, or fervor is the way of existence. But if the fervor is directed toward Lord Vishnu, then one no, then that is then one can so then that is bhakti. But when that same fervor is applied to any other object, then that is lust. So that's the same point. In this way, we can see that unfortunately, every living entity is misusing his or her potentiality, life, heart, emotions, and investing it in a futile ground. Investing it in a futile ground. How unfortunate. How lowly. That all that great, so all that potentiality so heart is meant to be applied. That's the point. Heart is meant to be applied. A living entity cannot survive without applying his heart. A heartless existence is very difficult. So, but the material consciousness means that heart is applied in dead areas and dead avenues, and that's very unfortunate and shabby. But when that same heart is applied towards Krishna and his service, then it becomes very glorious. So human heart is meant for being attached. Human heart cannot remain detached. We are not wired for detachment, isolation. We are wired for connection and attachment. But if their attachment is not for Krishna, then it is very shabby and unfortunate. Just like the other day, we went for a Harinam and book distribution to Boston Commons. That is the central park of the city of Boston. So we were seeing that here the there is such an obsession where people give so much weightage and care and love and warmth to their pets, and dogs are so very nicely taken care of here,
More than
like
human
that.
beings.
And and I don't know that from and seeing all these people with their dogs and nicely fondling the dogs and moving around with the dogs, uh, so whether the dog wanted to go out and roam around or the master wanted, that we don't know. So who is escorting whom, uh, that way. But the point or the thought which was coming was looking around the faces of these people, that okay, probably these dogs are so nicely taken care of, and probably these dogs were late Americans who were masters before, and their and these masters were dogs before, and because they were very nicely taken care of in that life, and now they are reciprocating back, and they are nicely taking care of their masters in this life,
And
like
the
that.
marathon
So
continues.
this was the yeah, and this recursion continues, so there is this so there was this very prominent thought which was coming, that yes, probably these dogs were late Americans actually, and they very nicely took care of their pets who are now reciprocating back, so and then we were reading Srila Prabhupada, and Srila Prabhupada was saying, to this very same effect, and Prabhupada said, you see this relationship of master and servant, you know, there is attachment in this relationship. So master and servant relationship is attachment, takes over, and because of the attachment, masters and servants will keep interchanging their positions, and that is exactly what's happening, uh, that's exactly what is happening. So therefore you see, this human life is meant for attachment.
Vishnu.
But if that attachment is, you see, if that attachment is not applied to Lord Vishnu, then that attachment is going to be very is going to be eternally entangling. Now you see, these Americans, they were masters and they were attached to their dogs. Now they're dogs. Now as dogs, they're attached to the master. Some of them in next life will become master again, and again they'll be attached to the dog. Then they'll become dog again. So this is eternal entanglement actually. So attachment applied to any other avenue than Lord Vishnu is eternally entangling. So we see is eternally entangling, but this is the attachment principle. So the attachment principle should be offered to Lord Vishnu. Otherwise, it becomes very unfortunate. So Tvaya Kara Saroja Hata Patango Dikshu Brahman Brahmata Ejayate Shinime Muktam Nate Smarasi Vakrajata Varutham Kashto Nilo Harati Lampata Eshan Nivim. My mind is already restless, and by playing with a ball, moving it all about with your lotus like palm, you are also agitating my eyes. Your curling black hair is now scattered, but you are not attentive to arranging it. Okay, black hair is scattered and not arranged. Okay. Are you not going to arrange it? Like a man attached to woman, the most cunning wind is trying to take off your lower garment. Are you not mindful of it? Yeah, so Purport. The girl Purvachiti was playing with a ball in her hand, and the ball seemed like nothing but another lotus flower captured by her lotus like palm. Because of her movements, her hair were loose and the belt holding her cloth was giving way, as if the cunning wind were trying to make her naked. Yet she paid no attention to arranging her hair or fixing her dress. As Agnidhara tried to see the girl's naked beauty, his eyes were very agitated by her movements. Yeah. So this is hmm. So this description signifies the that Maharaj Agnidhara is completely hit by the disease of lust. We hear about the various arrows of Kamadev. You know. So uh, Stambham, Stabdham. Last one is Maranam, I think. Yeah, last one is Maranam. Finished. Poor fellow. He is. Is ready to lay down his life. No, they say, no, what is that? Romeo, Juliet, and all those kind of things. Those fellows are ready to lay down their lives. Maranam, no? So
Lay down your life for the mission of Allah.
Agnidhara
like
Maharaj
Christ.
is also hit by those kind of very nasty and unfortunate arrows. Uh, 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 which we should pray that they never come in our lives, and choke us, or strangle. So this how a person gets strangled to death. So you see, this is how Agnidhara Maharaj had got strangled. He's not able to understand anything actually, and he is just obsessed on uh, uh, he's just obsessed by that, swayed off by that lust, seeing Purvachiti. So now the so Radheshampur says that if you look at a lady, a Mataji, and if you get lusty thoughts, that means that is demoniac mentality. Only because of this demoniac mentality, we look at Mataji and have some lusty thoughts of enjoying like that. And Radheshampur says if this demoniac mentality is not there, then one will not get this demoniac lusty desires. So this is demoniac actually. So this kind of attraction and this kind of is very demoniac. This thought, no. So Agnidhara Maharaj is visualizing, Purvachiti, the various parts of her body and so on and so forth. Is very very contaminating, and this is demoniac mentality actually. So this demoniac mentality. So it's a sure shot proof that one has been caught very badly hit very badly by Kamadev's arrows. Prabhupada taught us to see everyone including even one's own wife as part and parcel of Krishna, to see her even one's own wife as Krishna's property, and not our own property to enjoy. That's demonism. Rupam tapodhana tapascharatam tapognam hayyetattu kena tapasa bhavato palabdham charatum tapo arhasi maya saha mitra mahyam kimpa prasidhati savai bhava bhavano me. O best among those performing austerities, where did you get this wonderful beauty that dismantles the austerities performed by others? Where have you learned this art? What austerity have you undergone to achieve this beauty, my dear friend? I desire that you join me. Why desire that you join me to perform austerity and penance? For it may be that The creator of the universe, Lord Brahma, being pleased with me, has sent you to become my wife. Purport. Agnidhara appreciated the wonderful beauty of Purvachitti. Indeed, he was surprised to see such exceptional beauty, which must have been the result of past austerities and penances. He therefore asked the girl whether she had achieved such beauty just to break the penances and austerities of others. He thought that Lord Brahma, the creator of the universe, might have been pleased with him and might therefore have sent her to become his wife. He requested Purvachitti to become his wife so that together they could perform austerities and penances in family life. In other words, a suitable wife helps her husband perform penances and austerities in household life if both of them are on the elevated platform of spiritual understanding. Without spiritual understanding, husband and wife cannot be equally situated. Lord Brahma, the creator of the universe, is interested in good progeny. Therefore, unless he is pleased, one cannot get a suitable wife. In fact, Lord Brahma is worshipped in marriage ceremonies. In India, even today, wedding invitations are still issued with the picture of Lord Brahma on the face of the card. Hmm. So we can see the intensity of the very intensity of the bewilderment and infatuation or the intoxication of Maharaj Agridhara. The intensity of that intoxication can be seen. That how Maharaj Agridhara is seeing everything so glorious in the uh, in the very existence or in the very identity or in the very manifestation of Purvachatti. This is lust. So you see the intensity of bewilderment Agnidhara Maharaj is saying. No? So he is seeing Purvachatti as expansion of Lord Vishnu. So you see, considering Lord Vishnu is supreme is bhakti. Hmm? Considering some mundane person to be Vishnu or expansion of Vishnu is demonism, actually. So, Sridhar Maharaj, what his consciousness is riveted to a very entangling consciousness. Dangerous consciousness. So you see, we see how when we see in in Agnidhara Maharaj's terminologies and his understanding, one thing becomes very clear that actually he's using the same kind of he's using spiritual nomenclature and spiritual not no, tools and modes and so on, but the object in which he is focusing on is very shabby. The the object of focus is quite shabby, and this is a great risk which every sadhaka should be careful about. So you see what he is talking about, the terminology is what he is using, the nomenclature what he is using is pretty much devotee, but he is gliding down. He is not performing devotional service, he is gliding down. So this goes to show that actually the state of our bhakti is very much determined by the state of our heart. So external tools and nomenclature and ambience may appear to be spiritual, but it may be simply being used to fuel. So therefore, you see, although the entire setting, the words, everything appears to be quite spiritual. He's talking about Vishnu's expansion. He's talking about uh, sacrifices, penances, but all that is being misutilized in the very shabby direction of Sanskrification. So sadhaka may be very careful because now in bhakti the external form may remain, but the inner substance may get blown off. Let's read further.
Externally, words are coming as Vedic stuti, but internally, it's such a
So
horrible,
this goes to
ugly
show
lust.
just familiarization with the Vedic knowledge and the Vedic culture is not enough. The purpose of the Vedas is served when the goal of the Vedas is implemented. See, another aspect is that many times it is explained as Sanskrification is Janiya Suniya Vishakhaino. So if one knows that no, it is very dangerous, why should one embark upon it? But material life is knowingly one jumps into it. No, yeah, knowingly one jumps into it. Like that. Uh, uh, Knowingly one jumps into it. So if Agnidhara Maharaj knows that okay, Purvajyoti's beauty is so distractive that everybody's austerity gets reduced or smashed, then why is he at all going near her? He should have ran away from that spot, is it not? So he's knowing that he's getting infatuated, but he is very happy about it. That's the whole point. No. Like I remember in childhood, my favorite song. I had learned one song. It was favorite song, that was "Jab se hui hai shadi आंसू बहा रहा हूँ," That was the song, I had now I don't remember the whole song. That time I had fully memorized the whole song. So my uncle, my mamaji had an orchestra. Whenever I would go home, they would put me also, and I would sing that song in different people's weddings. So yeah, so it will be everywhere. With the shadi scene will be there, and they would make me stand on the on the chair or the small So they would make me stand on the chair or the table or something, and they'll say sing. So I had only one song which I would sing. Now I have a better song. Hare Krishna is a better song.
Best
know.
song.
Hare Krishna is a better song.
Best.
Yeah, best song. But that time I had this one song which I remembered, and I had memorized, and I used to sing it everywhere. So people are no, so when people would hear, people were enjoying a lot. So they know it is true. Then why are you marrying? If you know it is true, and why embark upon it? That's the point. No. Ah. So if you know it is true, then why knowingly janiya suniya vishakainu? And they're very happy about So if one has whole sakshatkar of everything, then why embark on a poisonous trajectory at all? Why embark on a poisonous trajectory at all? So therefore, you see, the material world, people know that it is poisonous, but they want to, still take it, and then they decide, oh, it's a sweet poison, No, no. Therefore, the Acharya is saying poison, if it is sweet or sour or bitter, how does it matter? Poison is poison. Don't taste it. Is it not? That's the whole point.
And bro, that's why so much importance is given to the life of celibacy from the very childhood, because this Maya is so much. Even little you touch, it's like वो मार्शी उसमें या वो सैंड ड्यून में नीचे तक धस के समझ में आता है बर्बाद हो गए.
Yeah.
Before that we don't realize also.
Yes,
तो इसलिए
that's very
पहले
true.
strong brahmacharya training, and then you are always on the Krishna side, and then you are dealing with material energy.
Yeah. That's true. So that's why you see, Vairagya Vidya is so important. Renunciation is so important. Celibacy is so important. Controlling our senses and mind is so important. Because if we don't control our mind and senses force us to go commit suicide basically. Agnidhar Maharaj is committing suicide.
कुछ ही मार रहे हैं.
His father had been such a great devotee, and he is he is not standing up to the footsteps of his father. He is getting intoxicated. न त्वं त्यजामि दयितं द्विजदेवदत्तं यस्मिन् मनोदृक् अपि नो न वियति लग्नं मामचारुशृङ्गि अर्हसि नेतुम् अनुव्रतं ते चित्तं यतः प्रतिसरन्तु शिवः साचिव्यः सचिव्य. That Brahma, who is worshipped by the Brahmanas, has very mercifully given you to me, and that is why I have met you. I don't want to give up your company, for my mind and eyes are fixed upon you and cannot be drawn away. A woman with beautiful raised breasts, I am your follower. You may take me wherever you like, and your friends may also. You may take me wherever you like, and your friends may also follow me. Okay, now Agnidhra frankly admits his weakness. He was attracted by Purvachitti, and therefore, before she could say, "But I have no business with you," he expressed his desire to be united with her. He was so attracted that he was ready to go anywhere, heaven or hell, in her company. When one is absorbed in lust and the influence of sex, one surrenders to the feet of a woman without reservations. Srila Madhavacharya remarks in this connection that when one engages in joking and talking, uh, like a crazy person, one may say anything and everything, but his words will be meaningless. So we see this principle of lust is so lowly. You see, lust is very exploitative in its very nature. Here, the only feeling. So Agnidhara Maharaj, see, lust is all exploitative. What is Agnidhara Maharaj consciousness? He just wants to enjoy Purvachitti. That's all. And how distinctly these words are being used. So he's very attracted because this lady is having raised breasts, this is all lust actually. He is not even no. So this is very exploitative. You know? So in lust, actually, a person is very blind. So this is the symptom of lust. When the person has so he is not very much concerned about the other person. He's just concerned about his own one's own animalistic enjoyment. So lust is very exploitative. We can see it here. There is no respect. There is no value giving to the other person. There is only the madness to drill out some sort of sense gratification. That's all. It's so nasty. Um, it is so nasty actually. So Shishukavacha iti lalano nayati vishrado gramya वैद्यध्यायय परिभाषायतं विबुद्धवादुं विबुद्धमतेर् अभिसभाजयम् आश. Sukadeva Goswami continued, Maharaj Agnidhara, whose intelligence was like that of a demigod, knew the art of flattering women to win them to his side. He therefore pleased that celestial girl with his lusty words and gained her favor. Since King Agnidhara was a devotee, he actually had no Since King Agnidhara was a devotee, he actually had no attraction for material enjoyment, but because he wanted a wife for progeny and Lord Brahma had sent Purvachitti for this purpose, he expertly pleased her with flattering words. Women are attracted by man's flattering words. One who is expert in this art of flattery is called Vidagha. Vidagha.
Vidagdha.
Vidagdha. Vidagdha is called as Vidagdha.
But otherwise also Brahma ji was sending wife इतना भी flatter करने की क्या जरूरत थी? कर्दम मुनि देवहूति को इतना flatter नहीं किया. Mother देवहूति.
Yeah, so here, yeah, so it is explained here that women are very weak in on the grounds of flattery, and
Get
therefore,
cheated also.
uh, one should, therefore practicing sadhaka should resolve never flatter a woman. So then one will be saved, uh, because uh, this so women are, their weak sense is the sense of hearing. It is said the man's eyes are weak, and therefore the man gets mad seeing the form of a woman, whereas the woman's ears are weak, so therefore they get very attracted when they hear this flattery. So Agnidhara Maharaj seems to be a progressive devotee, because see, the point which comes is that if Brahmaji has sent Purvachitti, then anyways there was no need for him to flatter to this for a profuse degree. Because anyways Lord Brahma was trying to arrange the whole thing. But this goes to show that okay, this is a profile of progressive devotee. On one hand, they want to follow dharma. On the second hand, one is attached to sense enjoyment also. So as soon as he saw Purvachitti, he didn't want it to lose the case in any cost. And not having much faith in the arrangement of the Lord or the divine arrangement, Agnidhara Maharaj wanted to ensure things from his side, and therefore he unleashed his mastery of flattery to lock the case or rivet the case. That's what we can see. Kardama Muni didn't do any such thing like that. So why? So that goes to show why, because he had more faith in Lord Vishnu. So Kardama Muni never did any flattery. He did express his desire that he wants to marry to Lord Vishnu, and then having full faith in the Lord that when the Lord will fulfill the desire, whether he'll fulfill the desire or not, having all faith in the Lord, he just resumed his worship and meditation. And then Swayambhu Manu came with Mother Devahuti, and he handed the hand of Mother Devahuti and got there only. So Kardamuni did not. Kardamuni didn't resolve to such kind of course of action. He did not. See, this goes to show that his faith was always in the Supreme Lord. Agnidhara Maharaj not like that. Agnidhara Maharaj is a progressive devotee. In that sense, we can say, because he wants to ensure things from his side, and therefore he is resolving to these flattery.
Therefore, in that section of Bhagavatam, third canto, the description is about qualities of first husband. He should be first class devotee of Vishnu. Qualities of wife, she should deal with great respect, control, senses. So hard things were discussed. But when we start doing this flattering drama, then it goes on to very lowly level of lust.
Yeah, this is the very explicit level of lust. Yeah, very unfortunate. स च ततस्तस्य वीरयुतपतेर्बुधिशीलरूपवायः श्रीयौदर्येण प्रक्षिप्तमनस्तेन सह युतः परिवत्सरो वलक्षणां कालं जम्बुद्वीपपतिना भौमस्वर्गभोगान् बुभुजे. Attracted by the intelligence, learning, youth, beauty, behavior, opulence, magnanimity of Agnidhara, the king of Jambudvip and master of all heroes, Purvachitti lived with him for many thousands of years and luxuriously enjoyed both worldly and heavenly happiness. By the grace of Lord Brahma, King Agnidhara and the heavenly girl Purvachitti found their union quite suitable. Thus they enjoyed worldly and heavenly happiness for many thousands of years. Tasyam yuhava Atmajan Saraja Vara Agni Dranabhi Kim Purusha Harivarshe Lavrita Ramyaka Hiranmaya Kuru Bhadra Swaketumala Samajanan Nava Putran Ajanayat. In the home of Purushati, Maharaj Agnidra, the best of the kings, begot 9 sons, named Nabhi, Kimpurusha, Harivarsha, Ilavrita, Ramyaka, Hiranmaya, Kuru, Bhadraswa, and Ketumala. So, in the name of these sons, the 9 Varshas are described. Nabi Maharaj, so the Varsha of Nabi Maharaj is named Bharat Varsha after Maharaj Bharat. So, Nabi Maharaj's son was Lord Rishabdev, and Lord Rishabdev's son was Bharat Maharaj, after whom the entire Varsha is named as Bharat Varsha. So, but all other Varshas are in the respective names of the sons of Maharaj Agnidra. Sasu Vatha Sutam Navano Vatsaram Griha Eva Pahaya Purvachittir Bhuya Evacham Devam Upatasthe Devam Upatasthe. Purvachittir gave birth to these 9 sons, each 1 year. Okay, 1 year, 1 each year. Okay, but after they grew up, she left them at home and again approached Lord Brahma to worship him. There are many instances in which the Apsaras, heavenly angels, have descended to this earth by the order of a superior demigod like Lord Brahma or Lord Indra, have followed the demigod's order by marrying someone and giving birth to children, and have then returned to their celestial homes. For example, after Menaka, the celestial woman who had come to delude Vishwamitra Muni, gave birth to the child Shakuntala, she left both the child and her husband and returned to the heavenly planets. Purvachiti did not remain permanently with Maharaj Agnidhara. After cooperating in his household affairs, she left Maharaj Agnidhara and all the 9 sons and returned to Brahma to worship him.
Only Krishna is eternal, Tantan.
Yeah. So, Prabhupada is explaining how you see these. So that's the point, that this people run after the celestial beauty, and celestial beauty is so flickering. Prabhupada is quoting Menaka's example also. She just gave birth to Shakuntala and went. Wow. Who was that Muni in Ramayana? Vishrava. Whose son is Rishyashinga.
Yeah.
Now his mother also left. Rishyashinga, his mother also left. So they are all examples of Apsaras who just gave birth, the child and just left. Vibhandak, yes, Vibhandak, okay.
Mother Urvashi, she also left.
Vibhandak's son was Rishyashinga. His wife also, she was an Apsara, and she just gave birth to the child and left.
Urvashi also left. Urvashi also left.
Mother Urvashi also left. So the point is, therefore, there is no point running behind extraterrestrial beauty.
But in Kardamuni's case, Kardamuni left Devahuti.
It seems that so therefore the principle is, the more dazzling and attractive the beauty is, the more flickering it is going to be. That principle we can actually understand, and therefore one should not run behind attraction, but one should run behind simplicity, because in simplicity there is steadiness. But in attraction, there is restlessness. That's the point. So this was a very short-lived stay. It's just 9 sons, 9 years,
No,
you know.
2000 years
That's all.
लिखा है उससे पहले लिखा है for 1000 years.
For thousands of years. But as per their lives, the thousands of years pass like anything. So there is not much benefit having a long life of the heavenly planets, because although the life is long, the intoxication is also very intense. So everything gets short circuited. So you have a short life, so you have less time. If you long life, but so intense infatuation that whole life gets short circuited, then what is the use of that? Hmm? So therefore, one should not. Yeah. So therefore, there is no benefit of having a long life, because everything gets short circuited in that way.
गीता नागरी या
So you see, what principles and values one is putting in a relationship decides the longevity of the relationships. When one is putting relationships just on the, with the keeping or no keeping only external beauty or bodily attraction as the principle for coming together, no that doesn't have no that doesn't have much weight and substance and cohesiveness. So you see, Agnidhara Maharaj's cementing of the relationship was mundane, no, mundane glorification, no, flattery, and all such artificial means. So that doesn't last actually. The lasting cement is the principles of dharma. When one is having an attitude of service to the Lord Vishnu, and that with that attitude and vision one enters into relationships, those relationships will be cemented very strongly, because the cement of the desire to serve Krishna, it won't be like this flickering. Text 21. Agnidhra sutas te matur anugrahad outpatikenaiva samahanana balopate pitra विभक्तात्मतुल्यनामानि यथा भागं जम्बूद्वीपवर्षाणि बुभुजु. Because of drinking the breast milk of their mother, the 9 sons of Agnidhra naturally had strong and well-built bodies. Their father gave them each a kingdom in the different part of Jambudvip. The kingdoms were named according to the names of the sons. Thus the sons of Agnidhra ruled the kingdoms they received from their father. The Acharya specifically mentioned that in this verse the words Matu Anugrahat, by the mercy of their mother, refer to the breast milk of the mother. In India, it is a common belief that if a baby is fed his mother's milk for at least 6 months, his body will be very strong. Besides that, it is mentioned herein that all the sons of Agnidhra were endowed with the nature of their mother. Bhagavad Gita also declares Sri Dustasu Varshaneya Jayante Varna Shankara. When women are polluted, Varna Shankara, unqualified children are generated. When the Varna Shankara population increases, the entire world becomes hellish. Therefore, According to Manu Samhita, a woman needs a great deal of protection in order to remain pure and chaste so that her children can be fully engaged for the benefit of human society. Yeah, so here's the point which Srila Prabhupada is highlighting is that the purity and chastity of the woman impacts the entire society, or impacts the very nature of their children. So therefore, if the woman is pure and chaste, then the children will be of a good character. Let's read further. Text 22. Agnidra Rajatriptaha Kamanama Apsarasam Evanudinam Adi Manyamanas Tasya Salokataam Shutibhir Avarundha Yatra Pitaro Matayate Gante Madayante. After Purvajiti's departure, King Agnidra, his lusty desire not at all satisfied, always thought of her. After thousands of years also, his lusty desire not at all satisfied. Therefore, in accordance with the Vedic injunction, the king after his death was promoted to the same planet as his celestial wife. That planet, which is called Pitraloka, is where the Pitas, the forefathers, they live in great delight. If one always thinks of something, he certainly gets a related body after death. Maharaj Agnidhara was always thinking of Pitraloka, the place where his wife had returned. Therefore, after his death, he achieved the same planet, probably to live with her again. Bhagavad Gita also says, Yam yam vapi smaram bhavam tajyate ante kalevara tam tamevati konteya sada tad bhava bhavitaha. Whatever state of being one remembers, when he quits his body, that state he will attain without fail. We can naturally conclude that if we always think of Krishna or become fully Krishna conscious, we can be promoted to the planet of Goloka Vrindavan, where Krishna eternally lives. Human potentiality is wired for God, and therefore, if it is not channelized towards God, then that potency So if that potency is not channelized towards God, it leads to the fulfillment of the material desires. It leads to a very unfortunate thing. So now here, the Maharaj Agnidhara is landing in Pitraloka because that was his meditation. So you see, to drag on in this material world also requires same kind of energy which is required to go back to the spiritual world. Then why should one drag around in the material world at all? Why should one drag on? And, so Agnidhara Maharaj landed up in Pitraloka, which is way an unexpected performance which was achieved and which is uh, hmm. So Prabhu say one thing, so something, uh, then one is quite likely to get it. Let's read further. Yes, sir. Yes, Prabhu. This goes to show that piety is not sufficient. One may be pious and may be having a proclivity towards going to God, but such a person may get very badly intoxicated by material desires as well. So here, Agnidhara Maharaj, at that moment, he is thinking that that enjoyment is the topmost priority, and therefore he is taking to it in the with that fervor, with that zeal, with that madness. So a pious person may understand that this is not going to last for long, but for that time being, that is his whole life and everything. So yeah. So how dangerous is just not to simply keep hovering around on this plane of piety. You see. So mostly these people they dive into sense gratification also, and they say they are pious also. So this is the dual state characteristic, which is this is the dual state characteristic. Yeah. So we have to be. So therefore, you see, diluted Krishna consciousness is a curse. Because when Krishna consciousness is dilute, then the intensity of the desire for sense gratification does not go down. So although one may see devotional activities being performed, but that intensity or the madness of the uh, uh, and therefore bhakti should be very intense. Uh, let's go further. This is text 23. Samparete pitare nava भ्रतारो मेरुदुह्यतिर् मेरु देवीं प्रतिरूपम् उग्रदं स्थिरं लतां रम्यं स्वायं स्वामं नरिं बलद्रं भद्रम devastation इति समझना. After the departure of their father, the 9 brothers married the 9 daughters of Meru. They are named as Meru Devi, Pratirupa, Ugradamstri, Lata, Ramya, Shyama, Nari, Bhadra, and Devahuti. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purports of the 5th canto, 2nd chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled The Activities of Maharaj Aganidhara. So with that, let's go to the next chapter. This is chapter 3, Lord Rishabhadev's appearance in the womb of Meru Devi, the wife of King Nabhi. So let's start chapter 3, that is Lord Rishabhadev's appearance in the womb of Meru Devi and the wife of King Nabhi. Shishukaubacha Nabhirapatya prajaya Meru Devaya Bhagavantam Yagya Purusham Avihitat Majyajayata. Sukadeva Goswami continued to speak. Maharaj Nabhi Nabhi, the son of Agnidhra, wished to have sons, and therefore he attentively began to offer prayers and worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu, the master and enjoyer of all the sacrifices. Maharaj Nabhi's wife, Meru Devi, who had not given birth to any children at that time, also worshipped Lord Vishnu along with her husband. तस्य हवावशब्दाय विशुद्धभावेन जगतः प्रवर्गयेषु प्रचचा प्रचारत्सु द्रव्यदेशकाल मंत्रा मंत्रारत्विक दक्षिण विधान योगोपपत्या दुरधिगमो अपि भगवान् भगवता वत्सल्यताय सुप्रतीक आत्मनाम् अपरिजितं निजजनाभिप्रेतार्थ गृहीतहृदयो हृदयाङ्गमं मनोनयना नन्दना वय्यावभिर् In the presence of a sacrifice, there are 7 transcendental means to obtain the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. By sacrificing valuable things or eatables, by acting in terms of place, by acting in terms of time, by offering hymns, by going through the priest, by offering gifts to the priest. By going through the priest, by offering gifts to the priest, by observing the regulative principles. These 7 different ways. However, one cannot always obtain the Supreme Lord through his paraphernalia. However, one cannot always obtain the Supreme Lord through this paraphernalia. Nonetheless, the Lord is affectionate to his devotee. Therefore, when Maharaj Nabi was a devotee, worshipped and offered prayers to the Lord with great faith and devotion and with a pure, uncontaminated mind.
From class home.
Yeah, so Maharaj Navi superficially performing some yajna in the line of Pravargya, the kind Supreme Personality Agara, due to his affection for his devotees, appeared before King Navi in his unconquerable and captivating form with four hands. In this way, to fulfill the desire of his devotee, the Supreme Personality of Godhead manifested himself in his beautiful body before his devotee. This body pleases the mind and the eyes of the devotees. Purport. In Bhagavad Gita it is said, Bhaktya mam abhijanati, yavan chasyasmi tattvataha, tato mam tattvato gnatva vishite tad anantaram. One can understand the Supreme Personality as he is only by devotional service. And when one is in full consciousness of the Supreme Lord by such devotion, he can enter into the kingdom of God. One can understand and see the Supreme Personality of Godhead through the process of devotional service, and not in any other way. Although Maharaj Navi performed prescribed duties and sacrifices, it is still to be considered that the Lord appeared before him, not due to his sacrifices, but because of his devotional service. It was for this reason that the Lord agreed to appear before him. In his beautiful bodily features. As stated in Brahma Samhita, the Supreme Lord in his original nature is very beautiful. Venam punantamaravindajalayataksha parahavatam. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, all the blackish, is very, very beautiful. Yes. So the Supreme Lord is very merciful because the Supreme Lord always spans the spark of the sincerity. Maharaj Navi is actually wanting sons. But because with that faith he is sincerely trying to serve Krishna, Krishna is reciprocating in that most beautiful way. And this is the Supreme Lord's supreme blessing, that even though Maharaj Navi had motivations why he was trying to call the Supreme Lord, the Supreme Lord still became manifest and glorified. So we can see this real mercy actually, where the Lord is seeing the sincerity, the faith of service, and the Lord is himself becoming manifest actually. Not only that, the Lord himself comes as a son of Maharaj Navi, Lord Rishabdev. So that is such a supreme installment of mercy, which is being explained here. So Prabhupada is explaining that Krishna one may not attain by thousands of years of austerities, penances. That Krishna, which is not attained in such a time frame also, that Krishna willingly himself only appeared and manifested. Himself only appeared. Therefore, Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Maharaj says, don't try to see Krishna. Serve in such a way, act in such a way. Krishna wants to see you. Because if Krishna wants to see, everything is so lit. But whereas a jiva wants to see, then the Lord is practically unapproachable. It is so very difficult. The only way is to strike a relationship, that only somehow or the other So that Supreme Lord is very affectionate to his devotees. So Krishna's no, because Navi Maharaj is offering prayers with great faith and devotion and with an uncontaminated mind. Krishna is also reciprocating in that superlative degree by personally appearing in front of Maharaj Navi. In this way, we see that sincerely and genuinely we try to serve Krishna. There is no doubt Krishna will become manifest in our hearts. So let's stop here for today. We'll continue reading further from text chapter 3, text 3 onwards in our next class. Granth Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.